I sit here with sadness today to report to you that I'm incredibly disappointed in one of my all-time favorite fighters, my brother, Floyd Money Mayweather.
I'm disappointed. I really am disappointed. The thing is that Floyd is what they call an independent contractor. And what happens is that when you become an independent contractor, Skip, if you make $230 million, they give you two checks or a check for $230 million. It is up to you to take out the deductions and make sure state, federal, and whatever else needs to be deducted is paid to the Internal Revenue Service. Floyd, you made $230, and I get it, Skip. I can just imagine getting a check for $230 million. Like, hold on. I ain't see.
There was a time when Floyd Money Mayweather didn't just seem rich or successful, he seemed untouchable. For nearly 2 decades, he lived at the top of boxing like a man who had solved life itself. He retired with a spotless 50-0 record, collected gigantic 9-figure paydays, and built a public image so polished that people stopped questioning it. Private jets, diamond-covered watches, luxury cars, designer shopping sprees, and stacks of cash became part of his everyday brand. To millions of fans, Floyd wasn't just a champion, he was a symbol of absolute control, a man who had beaten opponents, beaten the system, and beaten financial failure all at once.
Showing the people how I live. Now, I know you guys see me on the regular talking about real estate. Well, lately, I purchased 62 apartment buildings in New York City. And what I need you guys to do, slide over and check out the photos. It's not all 62 buildings, it's a few buildings, but guess what? All the buildings belong to me. I don't have no partners. And all the retail down low on my buildings all belong to me.
But in 2026, that picture doesn't feel quite as solid anymore. The shine is still there, but now the public is noticing the cracks underneath it. The conversations around Floyd are no longer just about elite defense, smart business, or his place in boxing history. They're about tax trouble, legal disputes, controversial endorsements, payment questions, and a growing feeling that the money persona may be under more pressure than ever before. What once looked like confidence now sometimes looks like damage control. What once felt like total power now feels like a man trying very hard to stop the image from collapsing.
Yeah.
And on a point like this, because all of them, we're in New York City right now, we're in Manhattan. That's what we do. Come on. You want to do it? All this money made. No partners. All by myself. Over 1,000 apartments. I'm just getting started.
One of the biggest shocks came when Floyd suddenly started talking like a real estate mogul instead of a retired boxer. Earlier this year, he made headlines by announcing what sounded like a massive move into Manhattan property. Reportedly worth $42 million, the way it was presented made it seem as though he had entered a new billionaire tier. No longer just a sports legend, but a serious player in New York real estate. He wasn't selling the public a fight this time. He was selling a vision of empire, ownership, and elite-level wealth far beyond the ring.
Even Mike Tyson. But what's so disappointing with me, Skip? Floyd Mayweather has gone through this before. What is it that you don't get? And I'm even more disappointed because you're on Instagram and on Twitter flaunting your opulence. You got bales and bales of money. You might have 30, 40 racks up in front of you. You got Bugattis and Enzo Ferraris and private jets and yacht and you big balling. And you won't cut these people their money? Now, Skip, I believe that he would have taken this fight anyway. It's hard to turn down $200, $300 million, Skip. But it looks to me that a major driving force between him, because I always thought it was Conor that wanted the fight. He wanted the big payday.
Yep.
But deep down, Floyd needed this payday because he got to settle the score. And let me tell you how
But once the excitement cooled down, the story started looking strange. Reporters, analysts, and financial observers began checking public records to confirm the deal, and that's when the problem began. The kind of paper trail people expected to see just didn't clearly appear. No obvious proof matching the scale of the announcement. No simple record that made the transaction look as real and complete as it had sounded. That instantly shifted the mood. Suddenly, the issue wasn't whether the deal was impressive. It was whether the deal was real at all.
Crazy that everybody keep asking me, why you not coming back to fight? Why you not coming back to fight? So I look at the fight game. I said, okay. I said, you know, fighters fighting, they make 3 million, 4 million, 6 million, 7 million. Some may make 10 or 20 million. But I'm doing exhibitions and I'm making 20, 25 million, 100 million for exhibitions. So why would I come back and fight and get a guaranteed 35 million when I'm doing exhibitions and getting 100?
And then the situation got even more awkward. As questions intensified, the effort to defend the story only seemed to create more suspicion. Instead of putting the critics to sleep, the responses around the deal made the whole thing feel even more theatrical. To some observers, it started to look less like a clean business transaction and more like a flashy public performance meant to keep the Money Mayweather image alive. And that is where it became dangerous for Floyd, because his brand was never just about having money. It was about making sure nobody doubted it.
That guy not pay taxes? How do the people around him, how do the lawyers that I'm sure that he employs, the financial people that are probably running his life, telling him to stop spending $1 million a day, how do they not deal with his taxes?
Well, listen, he apparently had a tough time reading the thing, as they say. Like he didn't know what he couldn't read, like
that's BS.
Something.
That is BS.
They said something.
Time
like
out.
that.
He is paying. I'm sure he's got a litany of people in his world.
I happen to agree.
Financial management people.
You think so?
You know, how long before he's suing somebody for mismanagement of funds? You know that's happening.
You'd certainly think so. By the way, they announced. I'll get your calls in a second. They did announce the pricing for Mayweather McGregor. $100 for a high def, $90 for standard def. So there you go. So it's exactly what the Mayweather Pacquiao fight was. $100 pay-per-view.
That's what makes this so damaging. For most celebrities, a messy business story is just another bad headline. For Floyd, it cuts right into the center of his identity. His nickname, his public image, and his entire lifestyle have been built around the idea that he is the smartest money man boxing has ever seen. So if a huge public deal starts looking questionable, it doesn't just hurt his reputation as an investor, and it threatens the very myth that kept his entire empire standing.
Floyd or something?
Yeah.
Did he pay you to lose?
Nah,
what happened to
no, he didn't pay me
at all.
He didn't pay me. I think I won that fight. I think I won. He didn't knock out a YouTuber in 8 rounds.
Floyd's my homie. He's a cool
Well,
dude.
fucking tell him to pay me, bro.
How much you owe you?
Probably between 2 and 3.
And the truth is, this isn't even the first. Warning sign. Long before the Manhattan story, there were already moments that made people question whether Floyd's public image matched his financial reality. One of the biggest came back in 2017, before the Conor McGregor super fight. Publicly, Floyd was still showing off wealth like nothing could touch him, but behind the scenes, reports surfaced that his legal team needed more time in dealing with tax obligations. That was a huge contradiction. The man who looked like the king of cash suddenly seemed to need a future payday before certain problems could be handled.
This with Mayweather?
Yeah. Thank you. Yeah, it's honestly bullshit. Like having people who aren't a professional promotional company control where the money goes is like, we made that mistake. But, you know, it's Floyd Mayweather. So before we fought him, we kind of were willing to do whatever. And now after the fact, we're kind of shooting ourselves in the foot.
Yeah.
Because he's a scumbag. But now that we know that, and everyone else who fights Floyd should know that, like, don't let him control the money.
Would you ever fight him again under any circumstances?
No, he wanted to. He reached out. And,
yeah.
But, like,
no?
Yeah.
What about double or nothing?
Yeah. Double or nothing. Yeah, I already got nothing, bro. So.
Can we get a Sorry, no.
It was fun though?
Cool. Yeah, of course.
So you're going to change the way you do business when it comes to boxing now?
Yeah. Me and my brother.
Thank you.
Of course, yeah. I gotta go, y'all, but.
Thank you so much.
You had fun doing it though?
Oh yeah.
I think we're done,
Most
guys.
fun of my life, dude.
Thank you so.
That moment mattered because it exposed the difference between gross earnings and liquid cash. People hear that a fighter made over $1 billion in his career and assume that same amount is just sitting in the bank forever. But that's not how wealth works, especially when the lifestyle remains massive. After the giant paydays stopped coming regularly, The warning signs from years ago now look much more important because they suggested Floyd's empire may have been more fragile than the public realized.
That guy was doing shit in the ring I'd never seen before. Yo, one time I was like hunkered over and I was like by his hip and he kind of had me in a headlock. Motherfucker opens his glove and puts his hand over my mouth.
Stop you breathing.
So I couldn't breathe. I'd never seen this before. And opposite side of the ref. He knew where the ref was. He knew to cover my mouth. Straight up in the middle of the fight, I'm like, and I get up and I'm like, what the fuck? I just missed 2 breaths. Fact. Smart boxer, you know, that's the guy who's been in the ring before. He's smart. He knows his way in and out. No, I got paid. I got paid. Just not in full. Like, there's a couple million somehow that is just missing. Where did the money go? Floyd said he could afford a Jeff Bezos-sized jet from the money he made from that fight. I ain't got no fucking jet. What the fuck, dude? I'm missing a couple mil. We're gonna find it, bro. I'll see you in court. The art is happening. Just like, mark my words, we're coming for you, Floyd. Coming for your millions.
And over time, a pattern began to form. First came the public luxury. Then came the financial noise. Then came another major event, exhibition, or spectacle attached to Floyd's name. That repeated cycle is one reason so many people are now looking at every new Mayweather appearance with suspicion. Is it about legacy? Is it about competition? Or is it about plugging holes with another?
Everybody in the crypto world is competing with one another. Whereas I feel like everybody should be able to choose what they want to choose and go with who they want to go with. I think everybody should work together. And what I always did was I believed in myself. Before anybody else believed in me, I believed in myself.
The Logan Paul exhibition only made those doubts louder. On the surface, it was the perfect money event. 2 massive names, huge online buzz, global curiosity, and a low-risk entertainment spectacle. But the drama didn't end when the event did. Logan Paul repeatedly claimed he still hadn't been fully paid, and he didn't keep that accusation private. He said it openly, again and again, in interviews, podcasts, and public appearances.
What's going on? What's happening? Right now.
And that's why it hit so hard. This is Floyd Mayweather, the man whose entire identity is tied to financial power, being publicly accused of not settling business cleanly after one of the biggest attention-grabbing events of the year. To a lot of fans, that didn't feel like random drama. It felt like a red flag, because if someone with Floyd's image is being chased in public over money, people naturally start asking whether the issue
point you were getting celebrity endorsements. One was DJ Khaled, hilarious, and Floyd Mayweather.
Yeah.
And he posted on his Instagram him taking this what do you call it? The Centra card?
Centra card.
The Centra cards. And going and purchasing something with his Bitcoin at a store.
Yeah.
He did that knowing that it didn't work.
Floyd Mayweather doesn't know anything that's going on, really. So like what
we all know that.
Yeah, yeah.
The guy can't read,
Yeah.
How much did you guys pay him?
Like $1 million.
He took that knowing or not caring if it worked?
It was just knowing, not knowing, right? Like they didn't care. He does a million promotions like that. It was basically you speak to his manager.
Yeah.
He's like, this is Floyd's price. And you send the money over.
Yeah.
The manager makes his little cut from it. And he just says, what do you want me to say? And what do you want me to do?
Okay.
Right. And you just basically give him his script and he just does.
The damage here goes. Beyond one influencer dispute, once fighters, celebrities, or business partners start publicly suggesting that money around you isn't being handled properly, the aura changes. The mastermind businessman image starts fading. The man who once looked like the smartest operator in sports begins to look like someone constantly trying to stay one move ahead of bad headlines. And in Floyd's
Tyson, if there were some pre-arrangement for this fight, Tyson's animosity, well documented towards Floyd. Any chance that he's going in there and saying, "Hey, screw all, I don't care what agreement was made, if there was one at all, I want to kill this dude"?
No. He gonna get a check. Floyd's gonna get a check, and they're gonna get a check that's real huge because of their names. So nobody's finna fuck their money.
Then came another messy chapter, cryptocurrency. Like many stars during the digital hype boom, Floyd got attached to projects that promised major upside and modern relevance. But some of those projects later became linked to controversy. failure, and regulatory scrutiny. Instead of making Floyd look like a visionary businessman ahead of the curve, the whole thing started making him look reckless, or worse, like a celebrity using his fame to help push risky products onto ordinary people who trusted his name.
Recently said that you're going to be fighting Floyd Mayweather. Why the hell did he agree to fight you? That seems like a bad decision by him.
Well, listen, I was minding my business. I'm flying my birds, tending to my children, and he's the one. He came with the sign. His name was on the contract signed already, and he was talking really bad and nasty to me. And so I was like, God, damn! I thought we were friendly, talking crazy. He's all right.
That's got to be such a cool thing for boxing fans, though, Mike, to have two of the all-time legends in there. Are you excited just to see the thing of that, like it was with you and Roy?
Nah, man, we want to get him, man. What you talking about? Start talking crazy, like kick his ass.
He doesn't know what he signed up for.
Yeah, I thought the exhibition. He's talking crazy.
So he's like, but Mike, come on, man. He can't be doing anything to you. Like, that's a bad decision by him.
Hey, he made a good money choice.
This is where the SEC entered the picture. Floyd ended up facing penalties for promoting certain digital assets without properly disclosing that he was being paid to endorse them. That may sound technical, but the public understood the basic issue immediately. A legendary athlete with massive influence had promoted financial products without clearly telling people he was being compensated to do it. That made the entire thing feel less like smart investing and more like paid image selling. For a man who wants to be seen as a true business genius, that kind of stain is hard to wash off.